Hey, most excellent rock buds, it's Papa. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Today we're going to talk about the Rocky Mountains, where they came from. We'll look at why they are where they are. We'll briefly touch on the ancestral Rocky Mountains that came before them. And we'll look at the processes, the multi-stage processes that actually produced the Rocky Mountains as we know them today. So, hopefully if you like this video and it's useful, please subscribe, and thank you so much to all my excellent subscribers. We beat the 1,000 subscriber mark, and I'm so pleased and happy and very appreciative. So here we go. The history of the Rocky Mountains. So here are the Rocky Mountains today. They stretch from Canada and they run kind of southeast into the upper part of Mexico, even though that's not exactly shown on this map. We are talking about parts of Washington State, Oregon, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, Utah, Colorado, Arizona, and New Mexico. I can't resist giving you guys a photo tour of these beautiful Rocky Mountains, so here we go. Just to avoid confusion, we should first talk about the ancestral Rocky Mountains. They were raised up during Pennsylvanian and Permian time when Africa crashed into ancient North America. Hey guys, the ancestral Rocky Mountains were completely washed away long before the current Rocky Mountains came into being, but they did activate important faults that the current Rocky Mountains would later on reactivate, and that makes them kind of important. Hey, my rock buddies, I created this timeline for the formation of the current Rocky Mountains for you guys to refer back to anytime you want to. It's kind of small, but maybe you can enlarge this or maybe take screenshots of it in sections, and I think this will help you get it into your mind pretty well, because it certainly helped me. Here's a map of North America at about 70 million years ago. The severe orogeny is finishing up. You can see the severe mountain ranges on the west coast there, and you can see the severe orogeny foreland basin to the east that the severe mountains are eroding into. Here is a side view of the way the subduction zone looked during the severe orogeny and really every west coast orogeny that preceded it. The ocean crust is subducting beneath the west coast of North America at about a 45-degree angle, and this is very normal. This setup has been producing a mountain range pretty close to the west coast, like the Sierra Nevadas, etc. About 70 million years ago, at the beginning of the Laramide orogeny, the subduction angle went absolutely flat, or at least that's what geologists think. They don't know for sure, but a flat subduction zone would explain why the Rocky Mountains are so far to the east. And so as this flat plate moved from west to east beneath the continental crust, it created a wave of volcanism that ran from west to east along with it. This moving continental volcanic arc extended 800 miles east from the coast. This west to east surge of volcanism produced mostly felsic tuff, diorite, and andesitic types of lavas instead of basaltic lavas. This is because the mafic ocean crust was plowing very close beneath millions and billions of cubic feet of land crust that pushed the magmas and lavas into the felsic and intermediate range. And not only that, during the same 70 to 40 million year period, all the eastward compression generated by the flat-lying Subduction reactivated ancient fault lines that we talked about before, and this created high spots, which were mountains that were surrounded by low spots that filled in with oceans and received sediment deposits. Hey, rock buds. At about 40 million years ago, all this volcanism and compression stopped. In other words, the flat plate subduction stopped. For 2 million years, it was very quiet, except those mountains just created were completely washed down into the seas, and a flat surface, which geologists call a peneplain, was created. But fear not, the Rocky Mountains that we know and love today are coming pretty soon. As the flat plate receded or fell away, it created a new wave of volcanics that went from east back to the west, and these volcanic eruptions were also felsic and intermediate in nature. And then the Pacific Ocean plate, called the Farallon plate, that had been subducting beneath the continent, did something different. It broke and started sliding northwest against what is now California. This created the San Andreas transform or sliding fault. The pull of the San Andreas fault caused the whole western United States to stretch and break into these crustal blocks that were shoved up into huge mountains with deep basins in between. Present-day Rocky Mountains were formed, the Colorado Plateau was raised up, and the Basin and Range Province was formed also, basically giving us a new state called Nevada. Geologists call these kinds of block fault mountains basement chord uplifts, because when these fault blocks were raised up, they pulled up ancient basement rock, billions of years old. Grand Tetons are a great example of this. They were pushed up by block faulting about 10 million years ago, but the rocks that were pushed up are ancient basement rocks about 2.7 billion years old. All this stretching and block faulting is really rifting, and we know that rifting produces mostly massive basalt lava flows instead of felsic and intermediate lava flows. About 5 million years ago, one of these basalt lava flows dammed up a small river in the Colorado Plateau, which created a large lake, and when the lake finally broke through the dam, the Grand Canyon of the Colorado began to form. Okay, rock buds, that's the story of the formation of the Rocky Mountains. Thank you so much for watching. If this video was helpful, please subscribe. And this is your Rock Papa saying to all my most excellent rock buds, happy rock hunting. Papa out.